I'm Mike.
And I'm Matt.
And this is The Coin Show. On this episode of The Coin Show, Matt talks to us about his picks for the worst coin designs of 2013. Mike talks about collecting United States coins by type, and we talk about the coolest thing that walked into Matt's shop this week. But first, the news. The news is sponsored by the American Numismatic Association. Join today at money.org/join to be part of the world's largest organization dedicated to numismatic education. Matt, CoinNews.net is reporting on the possibility of the United States Mint striking a 24-karat gold 2014 Kennedy half dollars.
Interesting. Would it be a half ounce?
I don't know because they haven't released any images of the reverse. It is going to be a half dollar size coin. So I mean, you deal with the bullion coins all the time. We're talking 9999. We're talking buffalo size. Yeah. Is that close to the size of the?
I mean, it's depending on thickness. I guess you could get it to that size, and it wouldn't be much of a problem.
I mean, they're talking about a 24-karat coin, so size-wise, that's got to be right about the same size as a 1-ounce coin.
I mean, the halves are, I mean, think about a buffalo. A buffalo's slightly bigger than a half.
Okay. So, yeah, probably if you adjusted the planchet for thickness, you could probably make it right about at an ounce.
Yeah. Or if you thinned it out, you can make it a half ounce. I don't know which way they're going to go. Any ideas? Any guesses?
To be honest with you, I really don't know. I don't know why we need the coin. I mean, it's just one of those things where I can understand you doing, any number of Kennedy tributes, which I thought if you were, this is the 50th anniversary of the Kennedy half dollar. You're celebrating the anniversary of a coin that doesn't even circulate.
Yeah. I think it's more about celebrating the president, but...
But are you, the year for the anniversary, are you going to celebrate the anniversary of his assassination? No, you're really not. So, what's 2014? It's the 50th anniversary of the coin. And when you look at the coin, it particularly in the past 10 years has not been like the most successful coin we've had.
Oh, no.
Kennedy's beloved president, given. There's a lot of components to this that just don't make sense as a gold coin to me.
I doubt it happens.
I didn't even think of until you mentioned it is the thickness of the coin, because the planchet size is going to be odd if you make it the size of a half dollar, which is pretty much, this appears to me to be another one of like the 5-ounce hockey pucks that's a quarter in denomination.
Yeah.
Well, this coin is going to be a half dollar denominated coin in 24 karat gold. But, is it going to be the same size as a half dollar? Is it going to be the same size as a 1-ounce gold buffalo? How are they going to handle that? It just seems awkward.
Yeah, like I said, I doubt it gets off the ground, but, I could be wrong.
Well, and that's the thing, is anytime you're talking about a Kennedy coin, it gains traction faster than most because he's such a beloved figure. But the Mint has posted mock-up images of what the obverse will look like. And there are two basic designs so far. One, identical to the circulation strike, for lack of a better term. I use the term circulation strike loosely. Half dollar and a dual dated obverse, which kind of reminds me of the bicentennial obverse.
Yeah.
Now, reverse designs haven't been released as mock-ups, and so there really isn't a lot of speculation. Maybe, I don't know. My thought is, will they keep the denomination a $0.50 if they do mint it in gold? Is this the new trend like the 5-ounce hockey pucks, where we have these?
It's tough to say. Time will tell, I guess.
And will they even strike them? And then my next question was why? But interestingly, CoinWorld was reporting on surveys recently solicited of mint customers asking their opinions on this proposed Kennedy gold coin, as well as whether they'd prefer them to, be mint to order or offer a limited mintage, among other things. Mm-hmm. And the gem in the reporting that I found in the CoinWorld coverage, at least, is that the mint asked existing customers their opinion on switching the 900 fine silver options to 999 silver and how it might affect their purchasing habits. So if the mint if they're asking existing customers, then somebody's behind the idea within the hierarchy of the mint.
Well, it would make their jobs a lot easier if they didn't have to create, two different purities of silver planchets. If they could contract one company to make them. Exactly.
They could get. I think that the studies said that it would actually be cheaper for them to procure 999 blanks than it is for them to procure the 900 blanks, mm-hmm. because the only thing that is made on 900 silver anymore is United States silver coinage.
Yeah, proof sets.
Pretty much. That's it. So it's a special order thing, and if you can get away from that special order thing, so they're going to their customers and they're saying, well, we know the tradition is 90% silver, but would it really affect your buying habits if we went to this 999? And, I think to some customers, they look at it as a premium. Hey, this more purity, maybe I'm on board with that, and hoping not to upset the apple cart, because it truly would make the products just simpler and cheaper to make.
And I would honestly guess that the resounding answer that they got from the public was, we don't really care.
What? I don't know. They were surveying in this the customers that buy a lot of product. And as you'll find out later in the news, those customers are really, really important.
Well, yeah, of course. Of course, but if it's not going to affect the pricing at all and potentially make it cheaper, and you're going to get more silver out of the deal, why wouldn't they be on board?
Well, absolutely, but you also have to remember that we're dealing with, in general, coin collectors tend to be older, and they tend to be a bit more resistant to change.
Oh, America in general, I believe, is that way. But
yes, but it's older Americans in general are even a little bit more resistant to it, and we have continued with a lot of conventions in this country that we haven't necessarily needed to, just for the sake of convention.
Yeah, I agree. Well, we'll see what happens.
The 2015 America the Beautiful quarter design candidates have been published.
I'm looking at them.
Okay, you're looking at them. Now, the 2015 parks include Homestead National Monument, Kazachi National Forest, Blue Ridge Parkway, Bombay Hook National Wildlife Refuge, and Saratoga National Historic Park.
Huh.
Now we're going to play our favorite game. Stop looking.
I
okay.
Can't see enough to make it out anyways.
All right, let's see if you can guess where these. Let's see if you can know your national parks.
Oh God, I think I'm going to do horrible on these.
Actually, yeah, probably, but it's entertaining. Homestead National Monument. Homestead National Monument is dedicated to homesteaders, the people who traveled west and settled the land by merely staking a claim and squatting. Established homesteads, and eventually the territories grew into the western states.
Oklahoma?
Nebraska.
Oh, I was close.
Yeah, you were close. You were right there. It's next to the north. Sure. Kazachi National Forest is home to a wildlife preserve.
Well, it sounds southern. You get that kind of that Florida feel, but I doubt it's Florida. So, what's down there? Georgia. I don't know, Georgia?
How about Louisiana?
I was close, see? Another.
You're right in the region. You're doing okay. This one I think you'll get. Blue Ridge Parkway is a road that runs through the Blue Ridge Mountains.
Mm-hmm. Now, the Blue Ridge Mountains kind of go through, I think, Tennessee and North Carolina and They're part of the Appalachians, if I remember right. So I'm going to guess North Carolina.
North Carolina is correct, although they also go through West Virginia.
Okay. Well, good. I got one.
Yes, you did.
I don't feel so bad.
See, and we've entertained ourselves. Bombay Hook is a national wildlife refuge.
Bombay Hook.
Bombay Hook. The design features great blue herons, and one of them also includes a pintail duck.
Pintail duck and great blue herons. So I'm going to guess it's up north somewhere. Minnesota? I don't know.
Our first state, Delaware.
Oh. Well.
And lastly, Saratoga, which is where the British surrendered to end the Revolutionary War in 1777.
Saratoga. So the British surrendered. It's east somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Saratoga National Historic.
It's going to be northeast. Oh, man. This one's tough.
Well, think capital.
Oh, so it's in Washington, D.C.?
No.
No. Maryland? I don't know.
New York.
New York.
Because the very first capital of the United States was New York.
Sorry, I'm a little slow tonight.
It's okay.
Hey, I got one.
No, you got one, and that's actually doing pretty good because I've told you this. I just don't get it. I don't get a connection between these parks and where they're at. And I think the designs, they're kind of they're giving the state short shrift, with not really. I don't know. It's just.
You're not a fan.
I am not. I am a fan of the big 5-ounce hockey pucks.
Just because they're big and cool.
The United States Mint is releasing the 2014 presidential proof sets on February 18th.
Okay.
Now, these coins are featuring the portraits of Presidents Warren G. Harding, Calvin Coolidge, Herbert Hoover, and FDR, Franklin Roosevelt. These are the presidents of the Great Depression. And, many older adults can now name the rest of the presidents in this series in order.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can date yourself.
We're getting there.
But we're getting there. We're in the 20th century, and, these are people that you actually recognize. And
this horribly failed coin program is almost over.
Yeah, well, right now we're in the year of the horribly failed presidencies, with the exception of FDR. I mean, this is the Depression era.
It's shooting, 'cause these coins are depressing me.
The sets are available on the U.S. Mint website for $18.95 this year. And when they started with this set, wasn't it like $14.95?
I think it was.
Five proof dollars, four proof dollars, $18.95.
Oh, and I'm sitting here looking at the story. It looks like a fee of $4.95 will also be added to domestic orders for shipping and handling. So it's really going to cost you.
But you can order millions of them, as I'm sure some will.
But if the average collector
$4.95, yes,
wants to get one, it's going to cost them $20-something.
Which, to be honest with you, I think is helpful to dealers, good, humble dealers like you, because you can then order them in bulk, and people can actually pick them up cheaper at your shop than they can ordering them themselves.
That is exactly right.
And it gets them in your door, which is a good thing for us.
That's a good thing for everybody. Well,
so I'm
me
good.
and you.
The Professional Numismatist Guild has announced their 2014 Young Numismatist Scholarship competition. Say that 10 times fast. Their 2014 Young Numismatist Scholarship competition to attend the ANA Summer Seminar in Colorado Springs this year. Now, all young numismatists between 13 and 22 years old are invited to apply. And to enter, applicants must submit their name, contact information, and an essay that explains why he or she should be chosen. All essays are due March 31st, 2014. Entries can be sent directly by email to info@pngdealers.org or by mail directly. But this marks 10 consecutive years of the scholarship, which has been funded by PNG's Gerald Bauman Memorial Fund. Mr. Bauman was an active dealer from New York City who died in 2001.
Interesting.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. That's a cool deal. Hopefully, some deserving YN out there will get that and go
Absolutely.
to the summer seminar and learn something awesome.
And then they can come and intern for us.
There you go.
which is always cool.
Yeah, we like those.
That's right. And finally in the news, the United States Mint's financial results are in for fiscal year ending September 30th, 2013.
Interesting. This should be an interesting comparison.
The United States Mint generated revenue of $4.34 billion.
Wow.
And that gave the government a seigniorage of $292.5 million. Much of the results were attributed to an increase in bullion net margin, meaning that the Mint made more on the precious metals products that it sold, and from contributions to special sets like the 2013 West Point Silver American Eagle set and the reverse-proof Buffalo Gold coin. So you say what you want about those programs and all of these special fancy coins and stuff that they made. But this year, the Mint contributed over $392 million to the Treasury General Fund. That's profit.
I understand, but I mean,
Last year's contribution was $77 million.
I just don't get how they can make so much money on bullion when the margins are so tiny.
But the impressive part is that in 2013 over fiscal year 2012, the Mint contributed over $300 million more last year.
Wow.
And answer me if I'm, or correct me if I'm mistaken, the price of gold and silver were relatively stable for that fiscal year, weren't they?
For 12 or 13?
Well, for September to September.
I mean, I think it was slightly down, but I think
Okay.
the big drop happened before that.
Okay, so I mean, we were talking about, they were still selling proof silver eagles at over $50 on $20 silver.
Yeah, there still are.
Yeah, and they still are. And I had made a comment last news that, that to me was a pretty large markup,
Yeah.
bordering on gouging people.
Yeah, but if you can sell out, then why change? Don't fix it if it ain't broke?
You know what? And as a U.S. citizen, this helps you and me. That's extra money. It just goes straight into the general fund.
That's true.
God bless the U.S. Mint.
We love them.
You can find these and other news stories from the coin world on our website at coinshowradio.com. Just click on News on the top bar for our RSS news feed. Are you a member of the American Numismatic Association? The world's largest organization dedicated to numismatic education offers something for everyone, including an award-winning monthly magazine, The Numismatist, discounts on other numismatic publications, direct submissions to NGC, access to the biggest numismatic library in the world, it's even bigger than mine, and much, much more. Sign up today at money.org/join. Okay, we have a couple of listener questions, and I figured just throw them out there and see what you think. First comes from Bart Varner, and Bart writes, "Hey guys, I enjoy listening to the show. I love the news, and I especially loved your interview with the representative from Stax recently." Must have been talking about the
Live show.
Yes, live show, World's Fair Money. "I'd like to request some segments on coin runs and date sets that are challenging but achievable, from types and series dating back a ways. Which series are just impossible for someone who is not independently wealthy? Don't even try these. Or how hard is it and how expensive is it in reality to do a full date and mint set of Morgan dollars?"
Well, I mean, a full, a complete date set of Morgan silver dollars really depends on a couple things. If you plan to include the 95 proof only, which is a big stopper if you do. A lot of collectors don't, which is
right. It depends on if you want to do circulation strikes or if you're talking an all-inclusive set.
Yeah, and also depends on if you're picky about condition. You can put a set of VG coins together, and it's achievable over the course of a several-year period for the average guy. You can probably put a complete set of Morgans together, and VG to VF. I would guess
3S is a killer, isn't it?
It is, but they've actually come down a little bit the last couple of years.
Something that I think is worthy of mention that from a collector's standpoint, people don't really think about. Yes, the key dates are sometimes even prohibitively expensive. They get to be kind of steep, but they're actually easier to find and more traded than a lot of the common dates are. And sometimes you might have a harder time finding a common date coin that fits in with your set than you actually have finding the key date.
Yep, that's exactly right, because people know that they're rare and they collect them, and dealers tend to have them in stock.
Yeah.
But, like a VG to VS set, you could probably put together in the $15,000 to $20,000 range.
Okay.
So, while it seems, expensive over a course of 5 or 7 or 10 years, it's doable. So.
Right. Can you do it at all, like in 3 figures? Is it possible in any condition?
3 figures? No.
Yeah, to do it under 1,000.
No.
Okay.
Well, the 93S alone is going to set you back at least 2,000.
Okay. So the 93S kills it for anybody that wants to do it on a budget of under $1,000.
Well, and 93S, 89cc, there's some other ones that get hairy in a hurry. So 94P.
He has more questions.
Sure.
He's an inquisitive fellow.
That's okay.
What is the true key in the Buffalo Nickel series?
The third.
See, this again depends on condition because it depends. If you're talking on circulated coins or if you're talking about just the key in general, doesn't it?
Yeah, to me, it seems to be the 13S Type 2 is always the one that I always have the most trouble finding.
Okay.
But, there are other, like it also, again, depends on if you're doing the varieties. The 18/7 is tough, and the 16 double die obverse is tough, too, so.
And we got another one from Kevin Jones.
Awesome.
Kevin Jones posted on our Facebook page. Hey, guys, quick question. More for Mike, maybe, because it's about moderns. The 14-coin 2013 mint silver proof set I bought last November for $53.95 has sold out at the mint and is now selling on eBay for $80 to $90.
So,
what do you think is driving this demand? Could it be the Proof Kennedy? With the total production of 419,000 of these sets, plus the 50,000 limited edition silver proof set, unless I'm mistaken, the 2013 Kennedy silver proof figures to be the second lowest mintage Kennedy of the silver proofs, second only to the 2012, and that one is now selling at a nice premium.
So now.
What do you think is driving the demand?
I would guess so, but the thing with that stuff, and what gets me is, are there really 500,000 collectors of modern Kennedy halves out there that care that much? That's
this is where you and I both completely agree on this, and this is a point that I think is lost on a lot of people sometimes. When the sets first come out, within the year or 2 years after they first sell out, particularly if the mintage numbers are low, the speculators jump in with both feet, and the prices spike.
A beautiful example is the 99 silver set.
Right. It was a coin that was available for $32 from the mint, and for how many years afterwards? 5 or 6?
Yeah.
It sold for over $200.
I remember the most I ever paid for one was $315 for a 99 silver set, and now you can buy them for $110.
Yeah. So, it's one of those things where I'm with Matt. If you've got a couple of these, dump them. Get rid of them, get your money, wait a couple of years and buy them back because you'll make money on the deal.
Yeah.
You'll probably pay less for them in a couple of years than you'll get for them now.
Yeah.
And you won't have your money tied up in the interim.
Or if you got, several of them, keep one and sell the rest. Because, seriously, the market on that stuff always tends to be hot for a year or two. And then they kind of, I don't know if it's equalize or get to find their real true value. But basically, the people that want them get them. And then at that point, nobody cares anymore.
See, my opinion on it is that I think there are more speculators than collectors.
That wouldn't surprise me either.
I really do, and that's what happens is as soon as the mintage numbers come out, there's always a knee-jerk reaction from the speculators. And the speculators they're not looking to pick up a set. They want 10, 20, 30 sets. And it is this just all of a sudden over, it's almost an over-aggressive demand. And it spikes the prices, way out of what I think should realistically be where they're at. And then it takes them a while to calm down because, the speculators have created a market that people aren't, they're just not going to be willing to pay.
Yep.
Thanks to both Kevin and Bart for writing in. If you have questions for us, we're always happy to try and take a minute, answer them. I answer a lot of the emails that I get in person. I don't know if Matt ever checks his.
I do.
Okay. But you can write to us, Mike or Matt at coinshowradio.com. Matt, it's the typical time of year when awards are given. Oscars, People's Choice Awards, all of the praise and kudos and accolades are given out for what people consider to be the greatest of the previous year. And we at the Coin Show are proud to support Matt in his declaration of 2013's worst coins.
Worst coins, yeah.
Worst coins.
I don't know, a lot of you longtime listeners might remember I did this last year for the worst coins of 2012. So I wanted to revisit it. And I think you were
dead on with most of them.
Yeah. I wanted to revisit it this year. And I think we've got some very interesting coins, to say the least, to discuss tonight. And I actually just kind of want to jump right into it, if you don't mind.
No, absolutely. Go ahead.
Did you like my pun there? Because the coin we're about to talk about.
Yes. You're jumping in with both feet.
Yep, with both feet. And the coin that we're referring to is the 2013 Canadian baby feet $10 silver coin.
Now, this was this a 1 ounce coin?
I don't think so. It has the denomination of $10, so it could have been. And actually, I think it may have been, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
I don't have the specifics.
It's a reverse proof coin.
Yeah, it's a reverse proof coin. That's exactly right.
It features 2 feet as the central devices of the coin, and then Canada and $10 2013 on the bottom. No,
it's really kind of not a lot going on.
I like the joke that you made in your notes.
And yeah, if you've ever, any of you parents out there, when you have a child at the hospital, they always take a print of their foot, a footprint, and,
yes,
and they give it to you. And that's what this coin is, I think, supposed to symbolize. But the first thing that jumped into my head when I saw this coin is, if you ever wanted to know what it felt like to have your face stood on by a small child, then this coin is for you.
Yeah, and it sounds to me like the voice of experience speaking there. And being the
father of 2 small boys, I have had my face stood on.
I also thought that this would also might be what it's like to own a pet monkey.
Ooh, yeah. It's got a couple of little wrinkly feet on it.
Yes.
And there are some people out there that hate feet that I'm sure just this thing would drive them crazy. If you have any friends out there that do not like feet, and you need a great gag gift,
that might be a great gag gift. Or somebody with, on the other hand, there are people that like feet. And,
I wasn't going to go there, but you can.
But you can count them. There's all 10 toes on this.
Yeah, it's healthy.
Yes, it's a very healthy-looking kid, a little pruny, but, aren't they all?
Feet are just gross. Now, the next coin that I came across in my search for the ugliest coins of 2013 is kind of good and bad. And this particular coin is the 2013 Cook Islands Bridget Bardot Hollywood Legends coin.
Because Bridget Bardot and the Cook Islands go together like peanut butter and...
tuna.
Yeah.
PB&Ts. Who doesn't like a PB&T sandwich?
Right.
No, and actually, I mean, the picture of Bridget Bardot is attractive, as is Bridget Bardot. But, it has the standard Queen Elizabeth II on the other side, which, doesn't do it for anybody. Except, what's his name?
Yeah.
Prince Philip or whatever?
Yes. Well, it's his job.
Yeah. But the coin itself, around the outside says Hollywood Legends. Then there is a star with a camera, iconic of Hollywood. And in the picture is a colorized picture of Brigitte Bardot, a famous picture of her. And it says Brigitte Bardot underneath. I mean, it's
a pinup type picture from
kinda,
World War II,
yeah.
that era. It's tasteful. It's really, it's nice. The color on the coin is stellar.
Yeah.
It's really, to use another Hollywood pun. But the legend on the coin says Hollywood Legends. So that would, I guess, assume, or it would infer, I would infer from that there are more than one coin.
Well, there are, but I didn't want to get that far. I didn't want to get that deep into the series, but there are several others if you want to look them up. But this particular one just kind of stood out as being particularly unattractive.
Okay, and which side is heads? That's
the other question. The next piece I picked kind of creeped me out a little bit, and this was the 2013 Niue $2 Finnick Fox coin. And describing the side of the coin that really got me is a picture of this little creature, which apparently is a Finnick fox.
Whatever that is.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they're native to the island of Niue, I guess, or not. I don't know. I mean, this non-circulating legal tender is really interesting stuff as far as the subject matter goes. But this particular little guy looks like a reject from the Never-Ending Story cast. I mean, he looks sad.
Oh, see, actually, I was going with Gizmo from Gremlins.
Kind of, yeah. He has really big ears and really a heck of a lot of whiskers, and they actually use black stones for the eyes of this little guy.
Oh,
and the rest,
that's what it. Okay.
Yeah, and the rest of the coin is just a matte finish, which
it looks kind of burnished and just nondescript.
Yeah, and it's just kind of creepy.
This coin, if you ask me, looks more like a medallic sculpture
than
it does a coin.
Yeah, but it is a coin. It's a $2 coin from the island of Niue.
Non-circulating legal tender. If anybody lives on that island, you can go and offer it to them.
Now, the United States also had a coin in
No!
2013 that I was not real fond of.
Come on. All the beauties that we put out all the time?
The 2013 Girl Scout dollar made my list.
Ooh.
Just simply because it's ugly. I mean, I don't know any other way to put it, but the coin is ugly.
Okay, now in defense of the Girl Scouts, that the logo itself, the Girl Scout logo side of the coin, I think is just fine.
And that, yeah, exactly.
It's absolutely fine. It's just kind of the way it is. They depicted 3 real children on the other side of the coin, and I would agree with you that they did not go out of their way to make them overly attractive or anything. I mean, do we really want to objectify the kids on a coin? But
no, but I think they have varying levels of enthusiasm, at least in the coin. Because you have the kid in the front, which looks really genuinely happy. You have the girl in the middle who's kind of like, and then you have the girl in the back that's like, get me off this.
Kind of indifferent.
Yeah, she's like, I don't want to be on this stupid coin, but here's my face. So.
Yeah, it is one of those. It's uninspiring.
Yeah,
and I think that had they kind of gone with the Girl Scout logo, that was a really good idea. I think that the other side of the coin was, for lack of a better term, uninspired. It's. I don't know if I'd go as. See, I have a problem when you talk about I don't know if they're ugly as much as.
The coin itself is ugly. I'm not saying that the girls are ugly.
Okay.
I'm saying the coin's ugly.
Okay, yes.
I don't like the coin.
Yeah, it is.
I'm sure they're fine young ladies, but
I'm quite certain. Of course, but yes, I agree with you. It's not anything that would urge me to want to collect them.
Yeah. Next on my list, and this is actually kind of surprising to me, is Canada actually had a second 2013 coin that made my list. And this is the 2013 1/25th ounce gold owl shaman coin. An owl like OWL, owl shaman. And apparently this is some sort of famous Native American statue, but it really looks like a creepy, excited Jabba the Hutt.
I'll tell you what. You're right. The image that's on, I mean, not the Queen Elizabeth side. The image that's on the coin is really kind of disturbing. It makes you wonder what exactly it is.
It looks like a half man, half duck eating a turkey.
It looks like a guy in like a penguin suit.
Yeah, and he has a turkey. Like, see the head draped over?
Yes, I mean, and I agree. I like the coin itself too because it's a 50-cent gold coin. Yeah, so I like that in general. But as far as design wise, you're right. It's like it is a cross between bad grade school play and Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, it's gonna give me nightmares, I think. That's how bad this coin is. If you're listening to the show and you're in front of your computer right now, Google this sucker. Google 125th Owl OWL Shaman coin, and you'll see what I'm talking about. This thing is hideous,
and maybe you'll just spur a bunch of sales of them, for next week.
And that's okay.
Yeah, that is okay. And, here's the thing about the Royal Canadian Mint. And, you and I are huge fans, and we tout a lot of the good things that they do. This is what proves that they're living on the edge. It's because some of the stuff is going to be conservative, some of the stuff is going to be right on the edge, and it's going to be cutting-edge stuff, and some of the stuff is going to be out there.
It's going to be a Jabba the Hutt with a creepy face.
This is out there.
Yeah. And last but not least, my choice for the final ugliest coin of 2013 was the 2013 South Georgia and South Sandwich Islands Seal 2-pound coin.
Okay, now can they make up their mind? Which is it, South Georgia or South Sandwich Islands?
It's and, not or. But the obverse of the coin depicts Queen Elizabeth, as this was apparently once some sort of English colony. And then the reverse of the coin
depicts a clubbed baby seal.
It's kind of what it looks like. It's a seal with its little flippers crossed in front of its face. And
lying on its side.
Lying on its side on a rock.
A rock, like it's been clubbed to death.
Yeah, it looks like a dead baby seal. And in my notes I wrote, this seal looks like it just fell and hit its head on a rock. Poor little feller.
This coin makes me sad.
It does. And it's just unattractive, and the design all seems like it runs together on the seal side. I mean, the Queen Elizabeth side is actually not bad looking, as much as I hate to say that about the Queen Elizabeth side of a coin.
It's the more attractive side of the coin, then you're in trouble. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's, a coin is bad when I prefer the Queen Elizabeth side to the side of the subject matter.
So I assume that this coin, the seal does not get your approval.
No, it does not get my seal of approval. That was bad. But anyways, those are the coins I picked out for last year. I always like to see your recommendations as well. So if you guys have any recommendations for the ugliest coin of 2013.
Because Lord knows there's a lot of them out there.
There are quite a few more. I had to wade through a lot to really pick out the gems, but I'm sure I missed a few. So
and no fair sending in presidential dollars.
We already know.
Yes, we know. We got it. We got that one.
But yeah, feel free to send your recommendation to my email at matt@coinshowradio.com. I'd love to see them.
And you could also send in your recommendations of what you think are the most beautiful coins.
Yeah, why not?
Something that I did on the Facebook page, and this is something that I did this week, was I asked on both Facebook and Twitter, I asked our listeners to tell me what you think is the best U.S. coin design of all time. And my thought is that sometime in March, during tournament time, maybe we could have a tournament of coin designs.
And which one everyone gets the most votes from our listeners wins?
We could kind of face them off against each other, and we could just have a tournament.
Huh, interesting.
Maybe we could do it that way, see how they like. But we need entries. So Mike at CoinShowRadio.com. Post it again on our Facebook page. Post it on Twitter. Let's see. What should we call this?
I don't know. We'll have a brainstorming session and we'll name it.
Okay, then. Well, I need a hashtag. Is really what I want.
Hashtag coin face off.
Coin face off. There you go.
Beautiful.
Hashtag coin face off, and you give us your best looking United States coin design of all time. Both of obverse and a reverse, and we'll have a tournament in March, and we'll see who wins. Members of the American Numismatic Association have access to the Dwight N. Manley Numismatic Library, the world's largest numismatic lending library. The library will even ship books to your home. All you pay is the cost of shipping. Take advantage of this great research opportunity today. Go to money.org/join to become a member. Matt,
Yes, sir.
one of my favorite things about coin collecting
Uh-huh.
is the fact that there is no wrong way to do it.
No, there's not.
You can collect 5 million ways to Sunday, and there's
You can collect
nobody,
coins with holes in them, or you can collect the finest collection of gold coins ever minted.
anything you want. And there's nobody that can come along and look at your collection, its focus, or its depth, or any characteristic of it and say you're doing it wrong. And yet, with the seemingly infinite diversity within our hobby, many people collect in basically two different ways. Either you collect by series, date, and mint mark, or you collect by type. Now, the reason for series popularity is because it's basic and methodical, and I think that speaks to the nature of collectors in general. But I think the reason so many people collect by type is that there are just so many different ways to do it. Now, one of the things that's always appealed to me as a collector about type collecting is that you don't get too bogged down in one particular coin or series.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that personally I'm a collector of coins in general, and that no series has ever really been able to capture my attention for very long. I'll be interested in a series, and I'll discover this cool thing about another series, and next thing you know, I've got two series I'm interested in, but then I'll discover a really cool-looking series, and it gets more complicated from there.
It's an addiction.
And maybe it's just ADD. But when I first started collecting, I assembled a few sets, and I learned a lot, but I couldn't really decide what series to pursue next. Now, most series that appealed to me at that point were financially out of my reach to collect, and the ones that were readily available were either too easy or not interesting to me. So I wandered the other side of the road for a while, and I became a type collector. Now, type collecting allows me to buy a group of coins of my own choosing, set my own parameters and budget, and it gives me control over many of the factors that limit my collection or my ability to collect it. I also like the fact that it's broader based and I don't have to become an expert on every series that I collect a coin from. You know, I can learn as much as I want and I can move on when I'm done. I can kind of graze and sample different coins and series, and maybe along the way something might grab me, but if not, I just keep moving along.
Keep on swimming. Keep
Yeah.
on swimming.
You're watching that movie, huh?
Yeah, I got kids. Mm-hmm. It's just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
Type collecting gives me more control over the budget I have to devote to my pursuits. In fact, it allows me to tailor it. Now, personally, I think that, $20 Saints are beautiful coins.
I do too.
But with two college-aged daughters, I can't afford to collect gold.
No.
But I might be able to afford just one Saint. I might later be able to gather the funds for an Indian $2.50 or $5 coin. And in this way, type collecting could be an alternative that works. Maybe I can't afford gold at all, and that's fine because there's no rules that say what I have to have in my typeset.
That's exactly right.
Now, this doesn't work strictly as a budget limiter, though. It can also work in the opposite direction. In my case, after I completed my first typeset, I started to look for more challenge because I enjoyed the set and the coins were readily available, but that also gave the set kind of a low appeal to me. So I began to think about ways to make the set more enjoyable. Some people at this point decide to match the condition of the coins across the set. Some will match the value of the coins across the set, and some have, more inventive ideas. My idea was to do a set made entirely of key date coins. And in some coins that was easy, but in some it became pricey, quite quickly, almost to the point of being cost prohibitive. But the idea was that it was up to me and there was no wrong way to do it. I could decide when enough was enough. One of the greater benefits that I found to collecting by type is that it's kept my studies varied and rich, There may not be a large number of books on any given series or coin.
And I know how much you love to study.
Yes, and the general books like the Red Book or an Almanac may not go in depth enough to give me any new information. But I might be able to find a similar subject and broaden my horizons as well as my options. I may find only one or two books on peace dollars, but I can find one on Morgan dollars or trade dollars, and there are many on silver dollars in general. Even in my research, the variety helps keep boredom at bay and keeps me more engaged with my collection. Another advantage to collecting by type is the knowledge that overlaps from series to series. A good example from my early collecting days is the Jefferson nickel series. I've learned a lot from collecting them over the years. I've learned about the metal itself, about toning and luster, and over time I came to know why nickels tend to be more weakly struck than other coins, and how to discern between weak strike and wear. Now, many of these same traits will carry over into the studies of shield nickels or V nickels or even buffalo nickels.
I was just going to mention that, actually. So that's
yeah,
interesting.
Because they're all struck from the exact same size, weight, and weight planchet.
You can take things that you learn from one series and apply it to other series. Now, there are some series that you can't do that with, but most series of a similar denomination or design you can, like the Barber series, for example.
Yeah, you can take things from the dimes to the quarters to the halves as far as the obverse design.
Mm-hmm. And the grading as far as the wear goes and so on and so forth.
Yeah, absolutely. Type collecting is so versatile that you can take almost any collecting angle and make it into a typeset, and then customize it to fit your taste. For example, you might decide that you like coins with Indians on them, and create a typeset from that idea. So one such set might include an Indian head cent, a Buffalo nickel, an Oregon Trail commemorative half, a Sacagawea dollar, an Indian 2.5, $5 and $10 gold, Buffalo gold bullion, Buffalo silver dollar. I mean, you just go on and on. You might decide you don't want to include an Indian head cent because it's not really an Indian on it, or you might not want the commemoratives in there because you just want circulating coinage or any other custom idea.
Yep. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it's I meet collectors all the time that amaze me with the things that they come up with as far as how they're going to collect, and a lot of times I don't say much, but I sit back and listen, and I do find it very interesting.
It is amazing how unique people's collections get. And in this way, it allows people to feel like they're still collecting coins and still feel a brotherhood with all the rest of the coin collectors out there while still being out there just, mushing their own sled, doing whatever they want to do.
I do what I want.
I do what I want. Our friend of the show, Malcolm, told us a personal story about collecting coins featuring the people from a particular photograph.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
And although it's something I never would have imagined, both Matt and I thought it was so awesome that we covered it on an early episode.
Yeah.
As far as type coins go, one of the most popular beginner type sets is the 20th century type set. And even these have two distinct types. The most common 20th century type set is coins from cent through dollar. And these coins are commonly encountered, and it makes assembling this set relatively easy, as many of these coins can still be found in people's dresser drawers and old collections of parents. Mm-hmm. They're not worth tons, but it's fun, it's inexpensive, and it's relatively easy to complete. The Barber coins are the only ones that I think you may have to purchase, and even some of these exist in change jars if you're diligent with older relatives. The other variety of 20th century typeset is a gold set. It can be collected, in any 20th century typeset or not, as well as be collected on its own. Some people go further and collect, Indian type or Liberty type gold. And again, there's just no wrong way to do it.
I agree completely.
Yeah. Liberty gold coins are enjoying a renaissance over the past 10 years, aren't they?
I believe so, sure.
The appreciation of them. It seemed for a while like the everybody's darling was the Indian gold, and as that kind of happened, here these coronet head Liberty gold coins just kept climbing and climbing, and I thought that was cool.
and the fact is they're not getting any younger. I mean, you have this series that ended in 1907. I mean, now it's been 110 years, so. I think that has something to do as well with the resurgence and popularity of these particular coins.
Sure. Another very popular typeset is referred to by the name of the album that it resides in. The Dansko 7070.
7070
The
sets,
77. 7070. It's a U.S. major type coin set from 1800, and I mean it covers everything from half cents, large cents, all the way up through modern coinage.
Yeah.
And
Very popular.
Very popular. This is I think the 20th century type set seems to be like the gateway drug, and then the 7070 seems to be the next one that people tend to move on to.
That's the hard stuff.
Yeah, because this has a lot of stuff that's going to be a lot less common. But yet at the same time, there's none of the stuff in the 7070 even that's really out of reach.
No, I mean for even the average guy, you can fill a good majority of that book. I have a customer right now that actually is a fan of the show, who is working on a typeset, and right now he's sticking to problem-free circulated coins in like the under $100 range.
There you go.
So I mean that's just it has to do with his budget and what he likes to collect, but that's what he's after.
Well, speaking from experience as a type collector, I think one of the defining decisions that you will make is what is going to unite your set. And is it going to be, like my pursuit was I wanted key date coins. So, some of them it meant that I could have uncirculated coins. Some of it meant that I was looking at, about goods, like a 16D Merc dime.
Yeah.
And that was just kind of the way it was going to work, but they were all key dates. And so they were all, so everybody's got to kind of make that decision as to what's going to define their set. And there are so many just really collectible grades from good to even, very fine that, just get overlooked. And type collecting, it's what it just highlights them really well.
It is. It's very enjoyable, and it can actually, I think, be very beneficial to the beginning collectors, because you do get that experience with a lot of different series and a lot of different, you get to look at a lot of different coins for your set, and you learn a little bit about each one of these coins as you go through and buy them. So I really do think that, especially beginning to even intermediate collectors, if you haven't done one already, you should really take a look at doing a typeset.
Yeah, or if you're somebody like me that might be a little bit, I don't know. I joke about having ADD, but seriously, where I don't necessarily want to get just really super in-depth into any one thing. I kind of want to sample and, learn a little bit here and there. Type collecting really has fostered that for me, and it's supported, any time I see something that I just want to learn about, that fits into the type collecting bent. It doesn't have to fit in within my focus.
Yep.
So, many people choose to include varieties, and some opt for just basic type, some go deeper, but the amount of the challenge is up to the collector when setting the parameters for their set.
Here's another good example of a customer of mine that is doing a set, a type set. He's doing a first year type. So every coin in his set is the very first year of issue. So there are a couple of really tough coins in that set. For example, he just and this is a pretty high-end collector. This is a
like a 1793 large set.
Yes, he just bought one not too long ago.
Wow. Okay, I get you.
And he just recently picked up an 1856 Flying Eagle penny.
Uh-huh.
And a 1916 Standing Liberty quarter.
Okay, so the patterns fit in. And see, if you didn't want to do it with patterns,
yeah,
you could do it with the 1857 and the 1817 type or 1917 type 1, and it would drastically change the financial commitment that you had to make to that set.
Yes, that's true.
And this is what's great about it is how you can customize the sets to do anything you want. In my notes, I had here that coins minted prior to 1800 end up with a lot of type collectors, don't they, Matt?
Oh yeah, that's almost exclusively where those coins go, because a lot of those coins, barring some of the smaller denominations, it's really hard to put together a set of them. And really cost prohibitive. So you have a lot more people that are actually looking for a type example because they're type collectors than, the collector that just wants to put a set together.
And the fact that there are just far fewer of them, period, in every condition.
Oh yeah.
There's not millions of some of these coins out there, and there are the number of collectors far outweighs the number of people chasing them.
Yeah. That's very true.
Like the number of coins that are to be chased.
You guys can tell by the amount of I think this is the second or third time that we really had a in-depth discussion about type coins and type collecting. That's how much, at least personally, I feel that it is a great part of our hobby, and it really is a useful part for people that are really wanting to be students of the hobby. Put together a typeset, really. Like, seriously, I recommend that to a lot of my customers, and a lot of them take it and run with it. So,
now, I was thinking of some other examples of what would be, cool typesets. I thought that a cool typeset might be a set that consists of coins that don't list their denominations on the coin anywhere. Like the early silver and gold coins of the United States.
Yeah, that would be a tough one.
But it might also include mules or error coins that were struck without denominations. If you wanted to up the ante.
Yeah. I have a collector that's doing this one's funny, a complete 70/70 set of hold coins in high grade.
Yes, I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, high grade hold coins. That's a tough one.
And finding hold coins is hard enough. Most of them are lower grade.
His stipulation is it can't be one that somebody just drilled a hole in for his set. It's got to be one that's out there being hold. I mean, can you imagine trying to find a hold Eisenhower dollar? The more modern stuff is actually tougher.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't really think about that. I guess, because of the souvenir quality of older coins, the cachet of just having something older, I guess people making keychains and stuff out of them. But a Nike dollar, they're like, it's $1.
Yeah, take it to the bank.
Yeah.
That's what happens to them. So, and it was funny, but his talking to me about this, that it was actually harder to find the more modern stuff than it was the older stuff.
Yeah.
Which is completely different, from any other, only in type collecting can you have something like that happen.
And just because all of the previous examples have done so, doesn't mean that type collecting will always cross denominations. Maybe you were inspired by my half cent segment in episode 77, and you decide to start collecting half cents. But some dates are monetarily out of reach for you, or your budget is limited. A typeset could be ideal because it allows you to set the parameters and tailor your collection to your needs. Now, grading sets can also be counted among the sets that would be considered typesets. And this week I saw a really interesting one of 1908 S Indian head sets from Fair 2 through MS63 Red.
Ooh, that's cool.
It was a very cool set, and they were all graded. They were all certified and graded.
Huh, that's pretty neat.
Fair 2 through MS63 Red. He had MS64 brown and red brown and all this. So there are almost as many ways to collect type as there are people. So I've tried to give you an idea of some ways that are popular, and I've undoubtedly missed a few. So if you have any really cool ways that you collect, email me at mike@coinshowradio.com, and maybe you can inspire someone else's next set, or maybe you could inspire a future segment. Okay, Matt, this week you have to come up with I have to pin you down to the coolest thing that walked into your shop, because I know that you had a really, really cool thing walk into your, well, you had more than one really cool thing walk into your shop.
How do you know this? How do you know this, Mike? How do you know this?
Because I actually saw a post on Pinterest.
You've been riding my back for so long that I finally did it.
You know what? I'm going to put a tree stand up there. I'm up there so much. So let's. I'll tell you what. We'll allow more than one coolest thing this week.
Okay. Well, that's good. Yeah, I did post several things to Pinterest this last week, but the one of the coolest things that walked in was actually a group of 3, believe it or not, of the 1996 Olympic dollar X-canceled dies. Now, I don't know if a lot of you guys know this or not, but just after the Olympics, they the U.S. Mint started selling dies that were used to strike both $5 gold coins and the proof Olympic dollars. They started selling the dies that were actually only X-canceled, whereas most dies that you ever get from the Mint are ground completely off.
Right. They give you a coin, and they give you the die because it has a serial number on it. But this one actually still has the design in it.
It does. But basically, it gives you a really good example of what a working United States Mint coin die looks like in person. I mean, you can actually own one of these. And we actually bought 3 of them.
You bought 3 dies?
I did. 3 of the exact same die.
Okay, so they're all the same coin. They're all the Olympic $1 reverse.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Proof.
So they have the mirrored surface, and it's really neat to look at it with a magnifying glass because you can get down into the detail and see how it's how it's designed into the actual die itself. It gives you a much better idea of the minting process itself because you get to see an actual face of a die. Now there is a big X in it. Obviously, I think that was the stipulation they had. Obviously, is
you can't
they wanted to
let
cancel.
People have dies.
Yeah, can't go out and start stamping coins.
But you know what I think is coolest about these dies, and you were talking about it, is the fact that you see a die and you realize, okay, this is the part of the coin that is raised, and this is the part of the coin that's flat, and it is exactly the opposite on the die, and you don't really think about that all the time.
Yeah.
But there it is in front of you, and when you start looking at the manufacturing process of proof coins, you start, okay, now I understand. The flat surface is the furthest, out surface, and that's where they polish it, and that's where they get the mirrored fields.
And they are mirrored. They are very, very mirrored, highly polished, heavy die steel. So they're really cool, and I've owned several over the years, but I never had a group of 3 come in the store.
Now, are you going to sell these as a group, or?
No, they're actually, I actually do have them for
up.
sale right now on our eBay store. And another cool thing that walked in, Mike said I could have 2, so I'm taking full liberty here.
Absolutely.
Was and this is funny because this actually goes with what we were talking about tonight, but I bought a complete United States gold typeset. And the set included the $20 Liberty and $20 St. Gaudens, $10 Liberty and $10 Indian, the $5 Liberty and $5 Indian, 2.5 Liberty and 2.5 Indian, and then it also included the small size and large size gold dollars.
Yeah, so it had 2 out of the 3 type dollars.
Yep, and then it had a $3 gold piece.
And a $3 gold.
Mm-hmm.
And this all uncirculated in a nice, Capital Plastics holder.
It is.
So you can see both obverse and reverse of them. Were there any of the coins in the holder, or were any of them more than just typical type common date coins?
There were a couple in there, actually. The 10 Indian was a 12S, which is a little bit better date, and it's actually on its way to the grading company. And then the $3 gold piece was actually like a nice original AU, so it went off to the grading company as well.
Because you don't see too many of those in AU, do you?
I mean, not really. They're out there, and it's not an uncommon grade to find them, but they do definitely bring a decent-sized premium. So that was another really cool thing that walked in the shop this week, and actually it's funny. Like I said, it couldn't have come in a better week for the subject matter that we were covering on the show tonight.
So now I assume that, okay, you took 2 of the coins out of the set, and you're going to send them off to have them graded. Are you going to replace them in the set with other coins and sell this as a set?
No, unfortunately, sets like that don't tend to sell real well, just simply because of the cost associated with buying that much coin in one shot. Finding the collector for that's pretty hard. So we do tend to break those down.
So the people that are going to collect these kind of coins are going to kind of assemble them coin by coin, not want the ready-made set.
Yeah, and see, the thing is with me and the coin shop, I'm like the reverse typeset guy because my customers, I have a lot of type customers. So what I do is when I get typesets in, I actually take them apart so that I can sell Jim over here the coin he needs, and John over here the coin he needs, and Ted over here the coin he needs out of this one set. So I actually deconstruct these sets to help other people put together
complete their
sets.
sets, which is funny because you'll take this one set apart and it'll go to feed 5 other sets.
Yeah,
which will
it's
be
kind of like
equally
organ
attractive.
donation.
Yeah, there you go. It gives life to other type collectors.
Yeah. So, but that's kind of the way we look at typesets in the shop. We love to buy them. I love to have them, but I would say 90% of the time they get taken apart.
Okay, so out of all these coins in here, we were talking about our contest for favorite coin design. Mm-hmm. Because I know you're a fan of gold.
Yes.
Of these coins in this typeset, pick your favorite design.
Oh, that one's easy. I am a huge fan of the 10 Indian. I always have been. It's one of my favorite American coins.
Okay, we're going to put Matt down for the $10 Indian. That's
$10
the obverse,
Indian.
I assume.
I'm sorry?
That's the obverse, I assume.
Either side. But I'm actually a fan of both sides of that coin. That's one of the very few coins that I like both sides of. My second choice would be the St. Gaudens, of course. That's another really beautiful coin. And both designed by the same talented fella. So,
I have a feeling that St. Gaudens got Final Four written all over it.
And it may very well. But
you know what I like? It personally, I like about the $10 Indian and the $2.5 and $5 Indians is that the designs are so similar.
Yeah.
You know, the reverse design, it basically looks like it was taken from the same sketchbook, but done by 2 entirely different artists, and really beautiful renditions of the design.
Yep, I agree completely. But anyways, those were the coolest things that walked in the shop this week.
We would like to thank our contributors, the Facebook friends, Twitter followers, people who wrote to ask questions or in some other way inspired us. Our thanks to the great folks at the American Numismatic Association for their support. Visit them at money.org. Our thanks to Tony Alvarez, who is celebrating his 50th birthday this week in beautiful Puerto Rico.
Oh,
and the Tony Alvarez Band for our theme music. Yeah, you should have seen the picture. Visit them at TonyAlvarezBand.com. We'd also like to thank May Otley for our bumpers. Her site is hannahmayotley.wix.com/portfolio. And a big thanks to our intern, Taylor Webb.
I have a shout-out this week.
Please, by all means.
I have to give a shout-out to the rock band Coffin Cats because
they rock.
They do rock. And they're actually fans of the show. I was visited by Vic and Eric from the Coffin Cats in the coin shop. And apparently these guys, now I've listened, they gave me a CD, which is absolutely awesome. And you guys should really go listen to them. They're kind of punk rock, rockabilly, kind of kicking music.
It's upbeat music, it is.
It is. And they were really nice guys. And
you should check out their website and their Facebook page. It's Coffin Cats with K's.
With K's, yep. But anyways, those guys rock. They stopped by the shop the other day, and apparently they're big fans of the show. So that's awesome to hear, and I just want to give them a shout-out for stopping by.
We're big fans of the Coffin Cats.
Yep. Sure are.
We are. But while those people are all important contributors to the show, their importance absolutely pales in comparison to you, the listeners, without whom this entire endeavor would be completely pointless. We love our audience, and we love our audience contributions. Send your thoughts. Email us at Mike or Matt at CoinShowRadio.com, or you can also ask us questions. Send a question to questions@CoinShowRadio.com. Visit our webpage, conveniently located at CoinShowRadio.com. There you'll find Matt's articles or my book reviews. On the book review page, you'll find links where you can purchase them on Amazon.com. Purchase them today. We also have pictures and bios if you're interested in knowing what we look like, or if you want to create internet memes, dartboards, or just want to make fun of us. You can also visit our listener map, and there you can place a pin, and you can show us where you live, even if it's in the Northern Marianas Trench. Like us on Facebook, come and comment on one of our posts, or post something of your own. Just try and keep it coin-related. Follow us on Twitter. You will occasionally find some exclusive content there as well. You can find us or even mention us in your discussion. We are at The Coin Show. If anybody has noticed, we've been posting a new coin fact every day on Facebook and Twitter. If you like our facts, please give the tweets or Facebook posts a like. I'll try keeping them interesting. You just let me know what you like and that you're interested. We also have a new page on Pinterest, and there we will post pictures of the cool things that walk into Matt's shop and other coin-related pictures. You can find us there. We are also The Coin Show. If you don't see the newest pictures, email Matt@coinshowradio.com. Ask him where the new pictures are.
I'll get them.
You can also listen to our show on Coin Talk as well as on other coin forums. If you'd like to host a player on your website, just email me, Mike, at coinshowradio.com for details. If you have an Android phone, we have an app for that, and it's available on Amazon.com for only $1.99. Download it today. We also now have a Windows 8 app available in the Windows 8 phone app store. And as always, our show is available for free on iTunes, as well as on Spreaker.com. Spreaker. We urge you to download our show and share it with a friend. More people are finding us and sharing our show every day. Be the first one to hear each show. Share it with your friends, and you can be the generous one. So for The Coin Show, I'm Mike.
And I'm Matt.
And we'll talk to you next time on The Coin Show. And next Saturday is your birthday, and I hope that you enjoy yourself.
Oh, I sure plan to.
See, I pay attention to things.
I see that. You're my stalker.
I'm like, well, I wouldn't go that far, but I am more detail-oriented than you'd think. It's the ADD.
And I am much less detail-oriented than you would think.
Yeah, it's to not care. All right.
Sorry, I was coughing. Sorry.
That's what, you were laughing. I heard you.
I was laughing too.
Okay. She's all open and everything. You're all ready.
I am ready.
You overachiever.
Sorry, dude.
Cool.
Let's do this.
Shut up already.